Hi, this is Shannon. This is Cycle 2, Week 12, Tutor and Memory Work Ideas. I'm excited to share with you some fun ideas you can use for this last week of first semester of Cycle 2. It's gone so fast, it's crazy. So you can use these ideas as a tutor or at home with your kids or both. If you are new to my channel, I am a homeschooling mom of 3 little ones, 6, 4, and 2. And we do classical homeschooling and love it. And this is our 4th year doing it. I get to tutor the Abecedarians in our community group, and I love that. So that's the 4 through 6-year-olds. So these ideas are with them in mind, but you can definitely use these with older kids or adjust them if you need to too. Before we jump into the tutor ideas, I want to share with you quickly this brand new review activity book I made for weeks 1 through 12 of Cycle 2. So I'm super excited about it because it connects concepts, helps kids dig deeper, and just review what they've learned over the last 12 weeks. So this would be great to use during winter break, just to really review what your kids have learned and dig deeper into it. It has 50 different activities for all the subjects, so geography, history, science, math, English, Latin, and I've included timeline in it this time, so I'm really excited about that. I'll show you a few of the pages real quick. So this is called European Cities and Countries, and so the kids get to fill in the city names and find them and then color in the different countries that we've learned in Europe so far. This is a science story that the kids get to read and then connect different animals to the different biomes where they live, and also mark whether they migrate, hibernate, or adapt based on the story that they read, or you read to them if they can't read yet. This is a history activity where the kids can match the name of the historical figure to a little riddle about them, and here's timeline below where the kids can find the matching circle label or just circular image that I have at the back of this book. You can either cut them out or print them on labels like this, and the kids get to match the right ones on the timeline events. So those are a few of the pages. I'll link it below so you can check it out more. I have more sample pages and just images of what the pages look like, so you can see if that would be something you want for your kids over break. Also, since it's almost Christmas time, I wanted to share this Memory Work Wonderland review game that I made that's Christmas themed. Just a really fun way to review the memory work with your kids. It has spaces for all the subjects, so the different colors represent the different subjects like geography, timeline, etc. And it works for every cycle. So you can play it this cycle, next cycle. It's not cycle specific, but just a Candyland style fun way to review the memory work. It comes with cards, and my daughters love playing it. So you can find it in my shop if you are interested. Also, make sure you stick around to the end of my video because I have some more fun free games that you can use with your kids this week to practice the week 12 memory work. I have a history one and my Latin bingo game. And also the science one that I used for week 11 applies to this week too. So if you didn't play it or want to play it again, you could do that. So I will talk more about those and where you can download those at the end of this video. So now for the tutor ideas. For geography this week, we are learning about the Eastern European seas. So we've got the Barents Sea up here, White Sea, Black Sea, Caspian Sea, and Aral Sea. So I got these little fish erasers. I like getting little things like this because the kids like to have something to take home, and it just helps them remember sea because fish live in seas. So I like to try to find cheap things like this. These I got off of Amazon this time. Sometimes I'll find stuff at the dollar store or the Target dollar spot. I just kind of keep my eyes open for anything that works. And it's fun for them to have something to jump around on the map with. So first, we'll just go to each sea. I will have these seas already outlined in dry erase marker like I usually do on these Trivium table maps. You could definitely just print out a map from the Sandbox e-zine and CC Connected and laminate it if you want, or even not laminate it. But I use these Trivium table maps from the Classical Conversations bookstore. So first, we're going to take our fish to the White Sea, and they're going to shiver because it's cold in the White Sea. Then we're going to go up to the Barents Sea, and we're going to go up as high as we can go because the Barents Sea is real high near the Arctic. Then we're going to go to the Black Sea, and we're going to swim in a circle in the Black Sea. Then we're going to go to the Caspian Sea and make our fish really still in the Caspian Sea because it's all landlocked. It's completely surrounded by land. Then we're going to go to the Aral Sea, the orange one, and we're going to kind of pretend our fish gets smaller because the Aral Sea is really small. So again, we've got White Sea, we shiver. Barents Sea, we're up high. Then Black Sea, we swim in a circle. Caspian Sea, we're real still. And Aral Sea, we get smaller. So I like having things like that sometimes because then I can ask the kids later, what was the sea where we went really high? Ooh, Barents Sea. I'm also going to teach them a song to the tune Mary Had a Little Lamb, and it goes like this. Eastern European seas, White Sea, Barents Sea, Black Sea, Caspian Sea, and Aral Sea. Eastern European seas, White Sea, Barents Sea, Black Sea, Caspian Sea, and Aral Sea. So we'll sing that and I'll have them move their fish to each one. As we sing, I'll encourage the parents to really help them find the correct sea as we sing each one. I would highly recommend get the parents sitting beside their kids and involved as much as possible. Then I will ask them, like I mentioned previously, what was the sea where we stood really still in? Caspian Sea, because it's surrounded by land. What was the sea where our fish got a lot smaller? Aral Sea. What was the sea where our fish went in a circle? Black Sea. And so that's just another way to help them remember these. So that is geography this week. For English this week, we are going to learn about some more indefinite pronouns. So we're continuing to use our song, Here We Go, Looby Loo, that we've been doing the past few weeks since week 4, but we're going to add on these new indefinite pronouns. So this week's indefinite pronouns are everybody, everyone, everything, few, many, more, most, and neither. So first, I'll tell them we're going to actually shake our head when we sing these to the song. So it's going to sound like this. Everybody, everyone, everything, few, many, more, most, neither. So we'll all do that together a few times, just the ones we're doing this week, shaking our head. And then we'll go back to nominative pronouns and sing the whole song through the new ones this week. So I'll do it for you, but I will also link a video below that shows all the hand motions and the whole song so you can see the whole thing done together. But I've been doing this with my kids since week 4, so they're really familiar with it. And so it doesn't take that long to just go through the whole song through this week. So it starts like this, and we start swaying to the left and to the right. So nominative pronouns, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. Nominative pronouns, objective pronouns, me, you, him, her, it, us, you, them. Objective pronouns, possessive pronouns, mine, yours, his, hers, its, ours, yours, theirs. Possessive pronouns. Next, we're going to sing possessive pronoun adjectives, but we're going to shake our left foot for half of it and then our right foot. I know I'm showing my hands, just pretend they're my feet because I'm not standing up. So it goes like this. Possessive pronoun adjectives. My, your, his, her, its, our, your, their. Then we go back to our swing. Reflexive pronouns. Myself, yourself. Himself, herself, itself. Ourselves, yourselves, themselves. Then we start shaking our left hand for the next one, interrogative pronouns, and then we're going to do our right hand for demonstrative pronouns. So, interrogative pronouns, who, whom, whose, which, what. Demonstrative pronouns, this, that, these, those. Indefinite pronouns, all, another, any. Anybody, anyone, anything, both, each, either. Everybody, everyone, everything, few, many, more, most, neither. So that is English this week. For timeline this week, I have my timeline cards like I have before that I get from Classical Conversations, and I get the big letters from the Dollar Tree. I like to put the letters on each card, the first letter of each event, just for kids who can't read yet. It helps them identify them. This week, I will have 7 pieces of painter's tape up on the wall. I'll do that before we start our group time. And we are going to do a timeline train this week. So what that means is I will have the kids line up in a train, and I will give the first kid the first card, which is Genghis Khan rules the Mongols. And I'll tell the first kid they are the engine of the train, and they get to lead the rest of the group around the room. And we will chugga chugga choo choo like a train, but we're also going to sing this week's part of the timeline song as we choo choo like a train. And then when this week's song ends, the engine person gets to put this card on the first piece of painter's tape. And then we'll all go over the motion for this card together too once they stick it up on the wall. So the timeline tune for this week goes like this. So we will be choo-chooing around as we sing, and it goes like this. Genghis Khan rules the Mongols, England's Magna Carta, Ottoman Empire, Marco Polo's journey to China, the 100 Years' War, and Black Death, Renaissance, China's Ming Dynasty. So when it ends, they will stick this card to the wall and we'll go over Genghis Khan rules the Mongols. So Genghis Khan, we're going to go like this for G. Genghis and then Khan rules the Mongols like this. Then we'll do it again, but I'll have the next child be the engine. So the engine before will go to the end of the train, and the next person will get England's Magna Carta. And we will choo-choo around the room, sing this week's timeline song again, and then they will stick it to the second piece of painter's tape up on the wall when we're done. And then we'll go over the motion as well. So the motions this week are, like I said, Genghis Khan rules the Mongols. And then we shake our hand for England's Magna. And then make a C like this, Carta. So England's Magna Carta. And then we're going to go around our head for Ottoman Empire, Marco Polo's journey to China. So go Marco Polo, and then buttons for China. And then the 100 Years' War and Black Death. So 1C, so 100 Years' War, and then hold out our hands up to our neck like Black Death. And then for Renaissance, we're going to put our right hand under our left hand. So the Renaissance, and then our buttons again. China's Ming Dynasty, like that. So that is timeline this week. For math this week, we are learning about teaspoons and tablespoons and fluid ounces. And we're going to continue these liquid measurements next week as well. So my song that I'm going to use this week continues into next week too. But we're just going to focus on teaspoons, tablespoons, and fluid ounces this week. So what I'm going to do is show the kids a teaspoon that I have just for my kitchen, tablespoon, and this is a little thing I use for supplements, and it has 1 ounce in it. So just to show them the amount of 1 ounce. You could use a small glass too, or a liquid measuring cup. Mine didn't show 1 ounce, it just starts at 2 ounces. So I chose to bring this in instead. But I just wanted to show them. And then we're going to use our left hand to pretend when we say teaspoons. And whenever we say 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon, we're going to pretend to scoop with teaspoons with our left hand. And then when we say tablespoon, we're going to scoop with our right hand. So I'm also going to teach the kids a song to the tune Alice the Camel. And it goes like this. 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons equals 1 fluid ounce. And then we'll keep going next week and it goes 8 fluid ounces equal 1 cup. 2 cups equal 1 pint, etc. So I'll do that next week. But we're just going to focus on this week's memory work for this week. So again, we'll focus on our left hand for teaspoons, our right hand for tablespoons, and we'll just pretend that we're scooping as we sing that song. We'll do it a few times. You can sing it in silly voices if you want. I've shown before my silly voice cards that I have that you can download for free. Fun voices like opera voice or soft voice, mouse voice, snake voice, loud, all kinds of different options. So I'll link that below if you haven't gotten those and want to download those cards that you can use, or you can just make up silly voices. So lots of fun things you can do. You can do fun movements as you sing the song. So I'll do it one more time. And again, we're going to scoop as we sing. So 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons equals 1 fluid ounce. And we'll sing that a few times, and that's math. For history this week, we are doing some silly words again because my kids love it. We are learning about Napoleon Bonaparte. So what I will do is first sing the song for them and encourage them to follow along on my tutor board if they can read. And then I will throw some silly words in there, and if they hear a silly word, they have to raise their hand and tell me what it is. So the song goes like this. Napoleon Bonaparte of the French Empire was defeated at the Battle of Waterloo by British General Wellington and his allies soon after the War of 1812 in the United States. So I'll sing that first, and then I will throw some silly words in. So I'll start like this. Napoleon, bubble heart. Bubble heart? No. So they'll raise their hands. Not bubble heart. What should it be? Napoleon Bonaparte. Oh, okay. So then I go back to the beginning of the song and sing it normally until the next silly word. So, Napoleon Bonaparte of the French pancake. What? Pancake? No, it should be French Empire. Oh, okay. So then I go back again at the beginning and I sing it normally until the next silly word. So they're actually hearing it the right way a lot of times. That's one of the reasons I really like doing this. So the silly words I use this week are bubble heart instead of Bonaparte, pancake instead of empire, waffles instead of Waterloo, watermelon instead of Wellington, puppies instead of allies, and unicorn kingdom instead of the United States. You could just make up words on the fly if you're good at that. I like knowing ahead of time what I'm doing because I do better with that, but you could use my words or make up your own or just, make them up on the fly. But my kids love this. They get so excited when we get to history. So I like doing it because it goes so well, and I feel like they learn it really well too. Then after we go through all the silly words, you can have them stand up and kind of dance around as we all sing the normal song together. That is history this week. For science this week, we are learning about some other bodies in our solar system, and I'm going to teach the kids a song to the tune Do Your Ears Hang Low, and I'm going to teach them some motions that will help them remember each of these. So the first one is asteroids. So for asteroids, we're going to spin around like that. The next one is meteoroid, and we're going to crouch low for meteoroid. For meteorite, we're going to just kind of jump and land on the ground. And then for comet, we're going to make a little tail behind us. So we've got asteroid, meteoroid, meteorite, and comet. So we're going to sing the song and do the motion. So the song goes like this. What are some other bodies in our solar system? Asteroid, meteoroid, meteorite, comet. What are some other bodies in our solar system? Asteroid, meteoroid, meteorite, comet. So we will do that a few times, and that is science. For Latin this week, we are continuing to learn the first conjugation future perfect tense endings. And I showed you these little cards I made for last week. We're going to do these for this week as well. What I'm going to actually do this time is have 6 pieces of painter's tape just in lines long enough for the kids to all stand on each one in a row. And I'm going to have one of these cards at the end of each line of painter's tape in the correct order. And we're all going to start at the first one, arrow. And first, before we start jumping or moving across the lines, we will review the song. So it goes like this. Arrow, eris, erit, aramis, eritis, errant. First conjugation, future perfect tense. And so then after we review that, we're going to hop to each line as we sing each Latin ending. So arrow, we'll sing that one, and then we'll hop to the next line, which is eris. And then we'll hop to the next line, which is erit. And I'll make a big deal that we all have to hop together. You could have the kids even hold hands so they're hopping at the same time. It'll be a little crazy, but it's fun. And then after they hop all the way there, you could come back and then have them hop maybe with one foot, have them tiptoe to each line, or very quietly go to each painter's tape line. Lots of different fun things you could do to just have them do that several times. You could also do just some fun movements to the song, like jumping jacks or high knees, things like that. I have fun action cards that you can download and use if you haven't used them before. I will link them below with just some fun ideas, especially if this is towards the end and the kids are just really wiggly and tired. It's fun to just get them up and moving. You could also play Duck, Duck, Goose. I like to do that a lot with Latin, where they sit in a circle and you bring a puppet or something and they just tap on each person's head as you sing the Latin endings and everybody gets a turn. So that works great for Latin too. For review this week, I made these little Christmas ornament printables, and I made some of them, already decorated, and some of them black and white that you can give the kids to decorate either at the end or take home to decorate. So I'm just gonna draw a tree, a Christmas tree shape on my whiteboard, or if you don't have a whiteboard, you could just cut out a tree shape if you have kind of bigger paper or something like that. Or you don't even have to draw a tree. They can just stick ornaments to the wall and use their imagination if they have a tree. But I'm going to cut out these ornaments and just have a little pile of the ornaments. And I'm going to ask the kids review questions. And if they get a review question right, they get to come stick one of the ornaments on our either imaginary tree or outlined tree or, whatever kind of tree you want to do. Stick it on, and then I'll keep asking review questions until the whole tree is decorated with the amount of ornaments that I brought. Then I'll give the kids some ornaments that they can decorate on their own. Either, if we still have a little bit of time, they can do it in class, or they can take them home, just because it's fun to decorate ornaments during Christmas time. And for the review questions, I just bring my foundations guide and just flip back a couple weeks. And I might ask, who can tell me a couple of the pronouns that we've learned so far? Who remembers some of the European countries we've learned so far? Things like that. So I just kind of ask off the fly using my foundations guide, but you could also prep them ahead of time too. And if you do want to use these Christmas ornaments, I will link them below. You can print them off for free and cut them out, use them at home, or use them during tutoring, or both, or whatever you want to do. That is review. All right, as promised, I want to show you the games you can play with your kids this week to practice the memory work. I just love making games for my kids, and it's fun to share, so I hope you enjoy them if you want to play them. This one is a history sequence game, the Battle of Waterloo. So you can print this out, and then I have a dice template that you can just print, cut out, and tape together. That's what I did. So the way you play is you just switch off rolling the dice and mark a matching picture and part of the history sentence on the sequence board. And the goal is to get 6 in a row. And if you can get 6 in a row, that actually has the history sentence in order, that's like bonus points. So that's the first one. And then I have my Latin bingo game, which I've shown before. This has all 24 weeks of the Latin endings. So just a great way to review all of the Latin. We've played before we've learned all of them, and my kids still love it. So you don't have to wait till the end to play it. It's just great review, and it has little pictures to help your kids know how to say the endings and pronounce them correctly too. So you can download these for free from my resource library. I will link below in the description where you can get those. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you've had an awesome first semester of Cycle 2. Please let me know if you have any questions, and remember to check out this review activity book to use with your kids during break if you are interested. I think they would really enjoy it. And if you are enjoying my videos, please subscribe if you haven't already. I plan to continue posting videos through the winter break and next semester as well. I post about tutor ideas, homeschooling encouragement, and sometimes some healthy living things. And follow me on Instagram if you don't already. I like to post what I do with my kids throughout the week, homeschooling wise, and other homeschooling encouragement and related things. And check out my blog where I have my free resource library where you can get these games that I mentioned. And I have my shop with my homeschool resources, lots of Cycle 2 related things as well. So thanks again for watching, and let me know if you have any questions, and have a wonderful winter break and Christmas.